Let's talk about the top 7 non-voiceover factors you need to have a successful VO career. Or the long title, the subjective top 7 non-VO factors that Mike created, which you should consider if you want to begin a voiceover career and make sure that it turns into a long and successful voiceover career. Hey, I'm Mike, full-time VO talent who's currently the voice of Warby Parker and the promo guy for The Talking Dead. I'm also an actor, and I co-own the Atlanta Voiceover Studio and ProVoiceoverTraining.com with my wife Heidi, and our mission is to equip, elevate, and inspire you in your VO career. All the videos we have on this channel are geared to give you advice and resources, free of charge. We do that because 1, we love voiceover, and 2, we love that you might love voiceover and want to do it. And thirdly, there are some costs to building a voiceover career that you need to be aware of. And there should be. You're about to embark on building a small business, and it's a big responsibility.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Wait, that's true, but that doesn't really fit right here. But I'm in the moment and I'm gonna go with it. So that's why we always wanna shoot straight with you and not sugarcoat anything in our videos. Nothing but real talk in this video. This road can be and is tough, but it's also very rewarding and filled with opportunities when you have the right outlook, training, and navigate it in a way that sets real and healthy expectations. Now, after you get an intro to voiceover workshop under your belt, or if you're already on your way, there are actually some things that you can do to set yourself up for success. We have a course at ProVoiceoverTraining.com called 10 Tips to Building a Full-Time VO Career. But that's for when you're ready to take that next step. It's chock full of great info to help you out. But for this video, let's talk about the top 7 non-VO factors you need to have a successful voiceover career. Yes, I totally made this up. Why? Because I found them to help me, and Heidi has too, in my and our voiceover careers. It's what keeps us going, it's what keeps us booking, and keeps us in good relationships with clients. The list I'm about to get into could probably be a bit longer, but I wanted to make sure that you had some things to consider as you consider voiceover. Starting out and trying to make it a side hustle or until you can make it your full hustle, but also help you set some expectations. I'll count down to what I feel is the most important, so here's Number 7. Number 7 is understanding that voice acting is a creative field, and like acting, it's a craft to learn. Because of that, it takes time and a willingness to learn. What do I mean when I say craft? The word craft means a set of skills that with sustained learning and practice over time leads to levels of proficiency. It's a commitment, and for serious voiceover talent and actors, it's a lifelong commitment. You've probably seen movies or heard bands that you've considered weren't very good, or you've watched TV shows or movies and saw bad acting. Unless there's no question, then they're just simply horrible. Whether they're good or bad can be pretty subjective. My point is that in creative fields, there's work that needs to be done to get to a level where you know what you're doing and are competent. And that intersects where a potential client or agent says, yes, I would like to work with them or sign them. Pursuing a creative field like voiceover isn't like going to a trade school to be a mechanic or a plumber or going to med school to be a doctor, right? There aren't any degrees that you'll earn at any point that say, congratulations, you're now equipped to be a voiceover talent. It's an ongoing process through the life of your voiceover journey. We learn as we go, and we continue learning so that we can get better and become masters at our chosen craft. But the great news is that once you begin learning and understanding your craft, which is learning your instrument, your voice, and learning how to record and edit yourself, you can begin making money and booking. FYI, most talent book their first job through someone that they know. So get it into your noggin that VO is a creative field, is a craft to learn, and that it takes time. Number 6. Number 6 is understanding that acting is at the heart of voiceover. And that goes for whether you're recording a commercial, animation, video game, or whatever type of audition. And while we're at it, improv is asked for on a regular basis. What is acting? According to Britannica, acting, the performing art in which movement, gesture, and intonation are used to realize a fictional character for the stage, for motion pictures, or for television. Acting is generally agreed to be a matter less of mimicry, exhibitionism, or imitation than of the ability to react to imaginary stimuli. And Sanford Meisner boiled it down to acting is living truthfully under imaginary circumstances. I act on a regular basis, and I'm not just talking about on-camera auditions or bookings. I'm talking about when I'm in the booth in front of my microphone recording auditions, or when I book a gig. Every audition is different, and you must put yourself into different scenarios and act or react. You'll have the script and what you're supposed to say, but you have to make it come across as realistic and natural. Let me give you an example. So coming up, this is a dialogue between two guys, and I'll make some character choices. James, can you put these up on screen for me? Joe says, all right, let's see what fell off this truck. Wow, that's a lot of ballpoint pens. These any good, Sam? Sam says, are you kidding me? These are the best pens in the world. So if you're simply reading it, it comes across as Joe saying, all right, let's see what fell off this truck. Wow, that's a lot of ballpoint pens. These any good, Sam? Sam, Are you kidding me? These are the best pens in the world. But we're voice actors. And let's say the specs in this audition said that they want Joe to have an essence that sounds like Joe Pesci. And then they want me to make a choice of my own for the character of Sam. Here's the difference with the voices, but I'm still reading and not performing.
All right, let's see what fell off this truck. Wow, that's a lot of ballpoint pens. These any good, Sam?
Sam says,
Are you kidding me? These are the best pens in the world.
okay, now let's layer in some acting along with the voices. Here's Joe.
All right, let's see what fell off this truck. Oh, wow, that's a lot of ballpoint pens. These any good, Sam?
Sam says,
Are you kidding me? These are the best pens in the world.
okay, so you saw the script on screen, but did you catch the tiniest bit of improv? I laughed at the front of Joe's first line. I took a moment, and then you could hear the realization that I really meant that wow. Then with Sam, I gave an audible gasp before his line and squealed with a little joy before his second. Improv doesn't have to be a lot, but you need to know enough to know it doesn't need a lot. Or in some cases, some clients will want you to actually make up lines that the character would say. They'll actually give me, the voice talent, creative license to add lines that I think the character would say. Sometimes they'd stick with what was written, and often they'd change the lines to what I made up. Now, this is an extreme example just to showcase what I'm talking about, but you get the idea. Acting in improv is and can be a huge part of voiceover, and it's huge in the animation and video game world. Oh, talk about video games. I've been at conferences where casting directors for these games are telling talent that they've morphed into full performances, so acting is a must. One director told a story about the actor having a full backstory for his character, and he even had to break down and cry. This isn't a video game. Now, don't worry and don't let this scare you. You don't need to be an A-list Oscar-winning actor up front right away, especially if you want to do video games. As with any creative field, there are things you learn incrementally. And like I said before, you can always book and work along the way until you make it to a point where you can go full time. And at some point, you'll be able to handle the bigger auditions. The reality is, the more tools you have in your tool belt, the more you'll have to offer and come to be known as a top-notch talent. You must prepare to be ready for those opportunities when they come. Number 5, be completely open to learning. Leave your ego at the door and understand that this might take some time. I want to help you have realistic expectations when it comes to voiceover, or as we say, VO. VO is an awesome part of the entertainment industry. But like I said, it's a craft. Some people can grasp their instrument rather quickly. Others, it may take a while. But don't judge yourself in the process. You're learning how to do something new. Learn and grow and step out. Take those chances. Heidi often shares the story of when she was still in radio, and after hardly having any training, she got her first agent. And how long did it take her to book anything with that agent? 4 years. And she readily admits that had she had training and took classes or workshops or private coaching, she probably would have booked a whole lot sooner. The moral? Learn all you can, put it into practice, and then learn some more. Number 4, be realistic. Keep your mental finger on the pulse of whether you're enjoying this process of learning what you can do with your voice and how the technical can fit with the creative process. Does it make you happy to take in all the information that you'll get in training, or does it fill you with dread? If it's happiness, keep going. If it's dread, well, that might be a clue that this isn't for you. Side note, I'm not talking about nerves here. Nerves are a good thing, and everyone gets it, even seasoned pros. But nerves could be another clue letting you know that you value what you're learning. It shows you care and that you actually are enjoying it. The other part of being realistic is not to set unrealistic goals. Voiceover training is a process, and if you're studying with us or at a studio like ours, you'll learn the technical so that it'll give you the freedom to create and know when and how. It can take time, but if you love it, you'll enjoy the process. So far, everything that I've mentioned hasn't really had to do much with the technical side that you need to understand to help you succeed. Now that we're at the midway point, let's do a quick list within this other list we're doing, only quicker. Every talent needs good equipment. Good equipment can be anything that you record on that sounds good. Notice I didn't say it had to be expensive. The good news is that you don't need to break the bank, especially up front. Let me put that differently. You don't need equipment until you're ready. And when you're ready, if you go to kit.co/pro-voiceover-training, we have a bunch of kits that we actually made up to help guide you when it comes to buying equipment. Read some of our comments within those kits and you'll see what we recommend and why. And we've broken it down into the different components like microphones and preamps and all that other stuff, but at different price points to make it easy for you. I do have to mention this is our affiliate page. We make a little off of whatever's bought through that page. So when you're at that point of purchasing equipment and go to that page, we thank you in advance for supporting us. It helps us keep pumping out these free video resources. Now here's a quick list of 5 tech things you need to think about once you get the ball rolling in your voiceover career. 1A, get training. I mentioned this under tech also because there are technical rules to VO that you must understand. Once you learn them, you'll know when you can break them. But 1B is equipment. Of course you need a computer, a good microphone, a preamp, good cables. You also need to know how to put it all together. And when you get to that point, go to atlantavoiceoverstudio.com and contact us. We can help you out if you need it. We know a guy. 2, recording space. It's good to begin thinking about this now. Are you going to utilize your closet? You know, the one with all the clothing? If so, that's great. Clothing absorbs sound reflections, and it's also an inexpensive space that'll totally work. Do you have a Harry Potter closet under the stairs?
Great.
We have ideas to help you treat it, meaning pad it with foam or sound blankets or what have you. And each space is different. Are you going to purchase a booth like a Whisper Room, Studio Bricks booth? If so, you'll need to know how to treat those spaces too. Again, each space is different. And we have a home studio treatment course at provoiceovertraining.com to help you out as well. Or you can contact us, again, atlantavoiceoverstudio.com.
We know a guy.
Number 3, DAW. What's that? Digital Audio Workstation, the software that you use to record your voice and then edit. Will you use Twisted Wave, Adobe Audition, Audacity, Reaper? Don't stress. Some are really easy to learn, it's doable, and we have live classes via Zoom at atlantavoiceoverstudio.com, or you can find the on-demand courses that we have at provoiceovertraining.com. 4, internet. Beef it up when the time comes. You'll be uploading audio files, and because you'll be training and getting better and better and begin booking gigs and getting more clients, fiber internet is going to be a worthwhile investment where you can hardwire into your computer. Let's just say it's a game changer when it comes to Source Connect and all the other things that you'll probably be watching. Side note, you'll probably be able to write it off in taxes. I'm not a tax pro, so consult a professional when the time comes. And finally, number 5, Source Connect. Now, you won't need to worry about this just starting out, but you will eventually need it when you begin to get agents and book gigs. Till then, focus on 1 through 4 above.
And that was your intermission tech list to think about after you begin training and learning the craft of VO. Now back to our regularly sponsored program.
Back to the top 7 non-VO factors you need to have a successful VO career. Number 3, understand that it's up to you to take responsibility for your life and career. Becoming a voice talent is understanding that you'll be creating and running a small business where you're the boss. As a small business, you'll be responsible for getting the training you need so that people hiring will want your service. If you take that business mentality to heart, you'll become a marketer and reach out to clients you worked with to say thank you, maybe send some swag, and you'll possibly market to potential clients. You'll be your own social media person, making sure what you post accurately reflects your voiceover brand. It'll be up to you to get the products you need to help you advertise and market what you offer. Things like a demo, a website, business cards for those who are old school. You are responsible for getting back to people in a timely manner via email or phone calls. Clients nowadays are pressed for time, and sometimes they need things quickly. The point is that you can't blame anyone else for you not getting where you want to be. Jocko Willink, a Navy SEAL and now entrepreneur, calls it extreme ownership. He says, you must own everything in your world. There is no one else to blame. Within that extreme ownership of your voiceover business and world comes a ton of empowerment, though. It doesn't mean don't get help. It means you and I don't have the luxury of blaming anyone else when things fail. Own it, grow, and win. You can do it. And this bears repeating. All of this can sound like a lot, but there are incremental steps to take, and you don't need to have everything up front or know everything up front. Most talent never had it all done up front, so you're not alone. Number 2, don't give up. As a potential voiceover talent, you're off on a journey, kind of like a hobbit, only you won't be going into Mordor and the fires of Mount Doom on a deadly quest. You're going to be facing something much worse, your own fears. This is normal. And when you understand that at the outset, that there's going to be good days and bad days, it makes it all a whole lot more bearable. The way you counteract these days is to have a plan laid out. At the Atlanta Voiceover Studio, we have classes that work incrementally and build on each other so that you know the steps. Whether elsewhere or with us, take an intro to voiceover workshop first to understand what all the voiceover industry has to offer, where you'll fit in, how agents and pay-to-play sites can fit in, what a demo is. All that stuff. Our Intro to Voiceover workshop is one of the most comprehensive that I've seen, and it answers everything up top and in one place so you don't have to spend a ton of time trying to track down all the answers. And this is all built from my and Heidi's experience as full voiceover talent. If you want to take something on demand, like the Intro to Voiceover workshop, check out provoiceovertraining.com. It'll answer all those questions there. Then we have classes that build on that first foundational course. The point is that when you have the plan of steps to go through, there will be less guesswork and wonder at the what's next. Whether you come to our our studio or do things on demand at provoiceovertraining.com, we're always an email away. And you'll meet others on the same journey who are in the same boat and stage as you, who will be in your corner. You'll be each other's support. The voiceover industry is wonderful that way. The majority of us are always willing to help and share because we understand there's plenty of work out there. There's room for all of us to book. And you may go through times where you don't feel motivated. We all do. How do you combat these times? Take a break if you need to mentally recharge. However, if it's because you're doubting, then there's a way around that. If you know the steps to take with classes and workshops, then don't let you and your fears get in the way of your goals and dreams. How? It's called discipline. Another great Jocko quote. Don't worry about motivation. Motivation is fickle. It comes and goes. It is unreliable. And when you're counting on motivation to get your goals accomplished, you will likely fall short. So, don't expect to be motivated every day to get out there and make things happen. You won't be. Don't count on motivation. Count on discipline. You know what you have to do, so make yourself do it. You do that with discipline. With all the people who have come through the studio, each one of them had a voice that could do voiceover. We're all unique and there's something out there for all of us. You can do it. You simply have to be willing to take the steps to learn it, believe it, and then work towards it. And finally, down to my number one thing that you need to start a voiceover career, and dare I say, a successful voiceover career. You absolutely, positively must have a good attitude and a willingness to learn as you begin and for the rest of your journey. Okay, that's two things, but they go hand in hand. You'll meet tons of great voiceover talent and producers and content creators and creative directors in this business. It doesn't take a lot to stand out. If you show you've put in the work to hone your craft, you'll stand out. If you show up on time when you book something and do the work, you'll stand out. But you'll stand out more when you have a great attitude because all those people will want to work with you, and those people talk to others in this business. Reputations get around. Create a rep for yourself where people want to work with you. You can do this, but it depends on you. And we'll be here to help if you need it. Hope you enjoyed the top 7 non-VO factors you need before you begin a successful voiceover career. Yes, this list was totally subjective, but it's based out of what I've seen in this industry and talent who haven't had the right attitudes going in. It can be tough, but that's why we want to be realistic. Life can be tough, so we gather around people who are supportive and want the best for us. And that's what we hope we can do for you, either in these videos on this channel or when you come and study with us at the studio. Like I said, our goal is to equip, elevate, and inspire you in your voiceover career. Hey, please like and subscribe if you got something out of this, and check out our other videos. And cheers to you and getting your voiceover career started.
If you're relatively new to voiceover and know about genres and what's available, but want to begin learning the foundations and foundational techniques of voiceover, like learning how to use your instrument, your voice, then head over to provoiceovertraining.com and click on the Beginner VO Intensive course.
Yeah, you can take that class there on demand in video form, and then we have links in there where you can schedule time with a private coach to practice and make sure you're doing everything correctly.
Or if in-person or live via Zoom is more your speed, where you can ask questions, head to atlantavoiceoverstudio.com and look for the Beginner VO Intensive under Classes in the menu bar.
These tend to sell out really fast because it's such an awesome class, and we cover so much in 3 months. So look at the website and see which night works for you.
Thanks so much for watching, and keep checking back for more videos to help you in your voiceover journey.